Hello, my name is Aras Hasserjan, and I'm the administrator for the Armenian National Committee of Toronto. Committee members recently met with Tim Hudak, the leader of the Ontario Progressive Conservative Party. Mr. Hudak joins me now for a few questions.
Aras, thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Let me start off by mentioning the positive response we received from the community members regarding the statement you recently had marking the 19th anniversary of Armenia's independence. However, for those who may have missed it, what message do you have for community members?
Well, it was an honor to convey a message for Armenian independence. A very strong community here in Ontario that has helped to build our province and make it strong. Waves of Armenian immigrants from the time of the genocide to recent times, and then in between, making big contributions here in the GTA, in Cambridge, and back in Niagara, where I'm from. So it was an honor to bring greetings on behalf of the PC Party.
Good. Mr. Hudak, as you know, April 24 is a very special day for mourning for all Armenians. Every Armenian has lost at least one member of his family during the Armenian genocide. And its proper recognition remains one of our community's most important issues. One of your caucus colleagues, Frank Cleese, recently presented a private member's motion calling for the Ontario legislature to formally recognize our April 24 of each year as Armenian Genocide Memorial Day in the province of Ontario. What is the stance of the PC caucus on this motion, and would you be willing to support a bill in the future?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's very important for us here in the provincial legislature to recognize the Armenian genocide. It is a fact of history. It was a tragedy not only to the Armenian community, but to all of us. And I'm proud to come from the Conservative Party, where we've had Prime Minister Stephen Harper recognize the Armenian genocide in Parliament. And now Frank Cleese wants to make sure we do the same thing here in the Ontario legislature. I'll support the bill, and I expect to see the PC party want to make sure we recognize this tragic historical reality.
Thank you so much. We're currently in the middle of a municipal election campaign, with the elections being held on October 25th. In your view, how important is the Armenian community's involvement in politics and public service, and what are the best ways you think to get involved?
Well, first, run for office. I'd love to see more Armenian Canadians running. I want to see more running for our Conservative Party as well, provincially or federally. Secondly, volunteer for campaigns. I mean, my interest in politics started at an early age when my mom ran for town council in the town I grew up in Fort Erie in Niagara. There's nothing quite like it. Anybody can be an armchair quarterback and complain or give suggestions from the sidelines. To actually get in the game and make a difference for your city or your province, tremendously rewarding.
And Ontarians will be heading to the poll again in a year from now, October 2011, to elect a new provincial government. While it may be too early for some campaign promises, from a big picture perspective, what are your main priorities for you and for the party?
We've set three very clear priorities as PCs as we get ready for the campaign a year from now. One is defending the family pocketbook. Every time people turn around, they're getting nickel and dimed with more taxes and fees, the HST, hydro rate increases, auto insurance, eco-tax. Average families just can't afford this government anymore. Secondly is fighting the hydro rate increases. People now are leaving hydro bills on the table for days on end. They're afraid to open them because they know they're heading in one direction, and that's up. That also impacts on small businesses. And third and finally, rooting out waste in government to put it into services people really care about, like health care. At a time that if you take your son or daughter to the emergency room, you have to wait 12 hours for service, or you can't get a loved one into a long-term care home, to see $1 billion wasted in that e-health boondoggle or money going into administration is a crime. We will take the money out of waste, put it into services, and help to balance the books of the province.
Okay. And any closing words for the Armenian community in Ontario?
Well, it was a great day to have a chance to meet with leaders in the Armenian Canadian community here in the GTA. As a grandson of immigrants who left the old country behind, who didn't speak a word of English and came here to build a better life for the children and the grandchildren, I marvel at the success of the Armenian community, and I look forward to working with the leaders and members of the community across this province to build a stronger, more prosperous Ontario so that next generation can do better than the parents or the grandparents did.
That's great. On behalf of the Armenian National Committee of Toronto, I'd like to thank you and hope you all have a good day.